We are at the FIBO in Cologne, Germany, and we are doing our franchise checks for all 16 franchises of the 2025 European League of Football season. And I am sitting here with our expert on all of the franchises and everything ELF, Matt Bressington. Now, Matt, we're going to dive in this time to the Helvetic Mercenaries. I'm a little worried because under strengths, one of the things we have listed here is attractive place to play. Feels like we're trying to find a stretch here for strength, so we're going to get into all of that. But let's start off here with the history of the Helvetic Mercenaries.
Here we go. So, coming out of Switzerland, they didn't come out too hot. 3-9, first season. Not great first year overall. Picked up a couple wins, but just ravaged by injuries. When we had Silas playing, a good friend of ours on the show, playing a quarterback for some of the year. And then they come in 1-11 in the second season. Carlton Aiken managed to get them that win. On Carlton Aiken's birthday, he gets that win against Milan. Another season of just like injuries and situations and just everything going on. Coaching staff kind of fell apart. So a really, really, really tough year for Helvetic.
Yeah, really, really tough. A lot of stuff off the field too, and that always sucks for players who are trying. You know, there's so much adversity in football on the field, and then when you have to have some of this noise off the field, that just doubles down and makes things very, very difficult. And we saw the result of that with their 1-11 season last year. Obviously, they're hoping to turn that around at least a little bit. Let's take a look at this season, looking forward 2025. Let's start off, though, with some of the departures from this roster from the previous year.
Here we go. So Pierre-Yves Major, we've talked about him a ton over the last couple of days. He has left the team, which is massive. To have a defensive rookie of the year as a homegrown leave is as detrimental to anyone, and I struggle to find a player who's going to fill that spot in. We might get into that in a second, maybe a potential, but that's going to be a big loss. And then John Falk, the homegrown player of the year last season, big presence for that team, just not only on a leadership point, but everything on that team was around him. To lose him to retirement is a shame, but obviously a happy retirement to Falk, but I'm going to miss him.
Yeah, I mean, the team's going to miss him. The league is going to miss him. This is the guy who came out of retirement so that he could be a part of this new franchise, and he really left his mark. But he's also now left a gaping hole, not just in the production that he does on the field, but also emotionally for that team. I mean, he's a mid-30s experienced guy who is someone that all the younger players really looked up to there. So that's a really, really big loss. But moving into the roster this year, then, let's look at some of the key extensions, the guys that they were able to retain, and then some of the new additions, one of which we've talked quite a bit about, kind of excited for, but give us the extensions here.
My extension list is short because they've not announced a ton, and it's just Milan Spiller. He is the only truly elite player they have. They have a couple of other really good starters, and now I'm going to get some messages from a certain player on that team, but Milan Spiller is the best of the best when it comes to, he's the first 1,000-yard season for a European in history. Think of all the Division I players and CFL prospects we've had from Europe, all the amazing talent. And it was a kid that came from the third tier of Swiss football. The third tier.
But the Milan Spiller situation is crazy. I mean, we talked to him on ELF Live last year, did an interview with him. Soft-spoken, sweetheart of a kid. He's not even really physically imposing, but when you see him play on the football field, it's just incredible. So huge for them that they were able to retain him. Yeah. I know there's a lot of rumors of teams trying to go after him as an import. Really big for them that they were able to keep superstar Milan Spiller. It says a lot about it. And how about some of their new players? And the one that I'm so curious about, Matt, Isaiah Weed. We saw him at Cologne last year. To me, the most streaky player or streaky quarterback in the league. So hot, so cold. What do you think?
I mean, you summed up perfectly. 1 minute, he's dicing teams up, he's hitting his outside beauty. He can make every throw, but he doesn't choose to make every throw in certain situations. Rather than hitting these outs, these short drags, just these checkdowns and maybe you would call it uninteresting passes, he just wants to go for those big plays, which is very fun, very fun. And on the feet, he is probably the best quarterback we have.
Yeah.
It's just this inconsistency and this recklessness. If you can clean that up, man, he would be a problem because physically he's he's athletic. It's just locking all the way in for that would be a big thing. And then DeMarco Artis. You know who my comp is for DeMarco?
Who?
Carl Kitchens.
Whoa!
That says a lot.
He's walking around here somewhere.
He might be on that. Coming from the Finnish league, he's been dominating them for years. His get off, his acceleration, his burst, the strength in his hands, everything's super high level. The big question with him He's coming from the Finnish league. Not the same level of offensive lineman
Right.
coming from there. So can he make that step up? He's going to be the guy the offensive lines are going to target. Timothy Sherman on the edge as well would be a big part, but he is going to be a guy that they're going to target in on. And then this receiver, I'm interested to see your opinion on this one. Keelan Cole, coming from the NFL, several years in the NFL, made a second contract in the NFL.
Yeah, that's huge.
Which is massive. Yeah, that's so hard to do.
Very, very big.
Absolutely. Sharp cuts. Obviously, he's an NFL level athlete. Would have been there for 7 years if he wasn't. But here's a big thing, and here's a big question I want to pose to you. He's in his 30s. Does he still have it?
This is a very good question. I'm sure he still has enough of it. I bet he's probably not in his absolute prime, but he doesn't have to be coming over here. A bigger concern for me would be, this guy played multiple years in the NFL to the point where he got a second contract, and now he's coming over to a franchise that had a lot of off-the-field problems. Is he going to struggle to adapt to that? And the drastic change from NFL to European, especially with the Helvetic Mercenaries situation. That would be my biggest question for him, is how he adapts and the attitude that he has towards that. If he's completely open to it, like, hey, new experience, I'm here to keep playing football. I also want to help some of these Swiss guys. I want to help turn this organization around. Awesome, will be great. If not, could be ugly.
I think that's wonderfully put.
Okay, and then last one on the additions I want to ask you about, Jock Crawford. He's 37. This man, we saw him come back to the league last year, go to Milan. What are your thoughts on them grabbing him?
See, this is I've been asked this question a lot in the last few months. Jock Crawford, great running back. He ain't playing running back for them, no. He's going to play safety. And here's the thing that I tried to explain to some people in a scouting perspective, and they didn't understand it. So I'm going to take my opportunity to say it now to you in front of all these wonderful people in Cologne. The art of a running back is so drastically different to an art of a safety. As a running back, you are moving forwards all the time. You're looking for the gaps, you're moving and shifting. As a defensive back, you're moving backwards all the time. Complete opposite. You're looking for receivers, not offensive line. You are looking at offensive line as well, but like running back tunnel vision is so different playing safety. And I know he played safety in Italy for a little bit. I know he's played safety a little bit in high school, but when he finished high school, I was 4 years old. Nick.
He's 37 years old now.
Yeah.
When he finished high school, that was 20 years ago,
Exactly.
Matt. That's kind of a long time.
Exactly.
I'm with you. I would feel better about a 37-year-old going forward than having to backpedal and adjust and cut. However, there were some detractors of him getting signed by Milan last year in the middle of the season. And not that he went on to have a superstar year, but he did still show flash like, oh, damn, you know what? Jock Crawford actually kind of still has it. He did kind of impress me. So maybe he'll shut us up when he does play safety for the Helvetic Mercenaries this year, but that's where we have it.
He opens up the door for him playing a running back. My only concern is, it's very obvious. You take Keelan Cole out, you're playing in a running back, you're probably going to run the ball.
Yeah, true. All right, so with that being said, let's take a look at their schedule for 2025. And if we can find anywhere in here to give these boys a win, all right? So I'll take the first half of the season, Matt. You got the back half, and
Sounds great.
it's a rough one. Nordic Storm, that's going to be a loss. Jadrian and Glenn's going to be too much. Even if it is a first-year franchise, they're too stacked. They're too experienced. Raiders T-Roll, that's going to be a loss. We just talked about them. Madrid Bravos, also going to be a loss, unfortunately. Then they got the bye week. And hear me out. This is a little bit of a chaotic wrench in the plan here.
Okay.
I'm going to give them a win against the Munich Ravens here in
Okay.
week 4 after their bye, okay? And maybe it won't happen, but if there's going to be some sort of chaos, Isaiah Weed going off for 600 yards, maybe he throws 8 touchdowns and 4 picks, I could see it being against Munich here, and they're going to pick up this win right here. Next 2 games against T-Roll and the Nordic Storm, 2 L's, so the front half of the season not looking too good. I got them at 1-5. Matt, give me the back half.
Wow, what back? I mean, their schedule, man. You look at that's a murderous row. You got the outer conference divisional games, which are hard, and then the central is just a cat fight in itself. Or the not the central. Right? I'm thinking 2024. What am I thinking? So let me start with Paris. That's an L. It's a tough team. And then you got the Ravens. I think they're gonna be say they do get this win against Ravens. I think the Ravens are going to come in with a little bit extra.
They're going to avenge their painful loss to the Mercenaries.
And they're going to put a big one on them.
There we go.
And then we got Madrid. Again, I like Madrid too much. Me and you both love that team. I think that's another L for them there. Now Prague's a tough one. I like Prague a lot. Prague also got 2 corners. They're going to be able to, you could just chuck both of them on Keenan Cole and call it a day. And then I don't really see what else they're going to be able to do about that. I'm going to take Prague to win that one.
Interesting.
So I'm going to be another L for them. And then another L to Paris. And then they come back. And then they take another L. So I think this is good.
Whoa, we got an ugly one here, looking like a repeat of the 1-11. You got them not even splitting with Prague.
No,
Prague
I like
sweeping
Prague.
them.
I like Prague. I'm a big fan.
I have a little bit of a pushback on that, but I'm actually going to save that for when we talk about Prague.
Yeah.
So, if everything goes like this, it's not going to be very pretty, and even that Ravens win right there is a wild card. Not sure how realistic that is. Hopefully, they'll be able to prove us wrong. What has to happen in order for this franchise to actually prove us wrong and not go 1-11 again?
Oh, I think
Isaiah Weed has to have the best season of all time.
Jesus has to rise again, I think. I think this is a tough one, but I think you said it right. It does rely on Isaiah Weed. Can he overcome this erratic, reckless nature? Or is that just part of his style? You know, if you take away the erraticism, you're going to miss out on a lot of really big plays that he does make. So is that one comes with the other, it seems. That's what it's going to be. I think you're going to isolate those best players, get DeMarco involved, get Keenan Cole, get Spiller involved. I'm using those 2 receivers as much as possible. They've got a nice running back room with Terrell, and if they put Jock in at running back as well. Offensive line, I have some doubts. Defensively, I have a lot of doubts. But getting these big players involved, they need to do that.
I'm hearing a lot of doubts from Matt Bressington, our ELF expert. So there you have it. Helvetic Mercenaries repeating at 1-11. That is our franchise breakdown for the Mercenaries.